Right, okay. I have no script for this one, so this is going to be fun. And I'm also going to try and make sure that I spend 30 seconds on each roughly. Alright, Bahrain. Started low and then Fernando, so it was a little bit harder to try and match the lap times that he was doing. We matched each other lap 1, lap 2 I was quicker, lap 3 I was quicker, lap 4 I was 5 milliseconds slower, and then lap 5 he was 3 tenths quicker. Kind of need to explain what's going on here. Right, 5 lap race at every circuit, no qualifying whatsoever, 59 or 79 AI, I don't know which one I chose. I'm inclined to think it was 7. I don't know. I didn't start at the front in any of these races, so yeah, I have no clue whatsoever. But from Bahrain, it looked like we were doing all right. Then we move on to Saudi Arabia. And as you may notice, hopefully, that I have synced the photos for the circuit. Hopefully. I don't know. Anyway, Saudi Arabia, lap 1, 3 seconds quicker than me, but obviously I'm not going to really compare that. Lap 2, I was 9 tenths quicker. Lap 3, 4 tenths slower. Lap 4, 2 tenths slower. And final lap, 1 tenth quicker. So this was hard again, as I was, as you can see from lap 1, behind him. But I really enjoyed Saudi Arabia, so we were able to just try and make the most of it, get past as many cars as possible, and still get as close as we could to Fernando's time. Australian then. Right. 121s completely for Fernando, whereas I stayed in the 22s completely. 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, 0.5 for Fernando. 0.2, 0.6, 0.3, 0.4 for me. So, lap 2, 4 tenths slower. Lap 3, 8 tenths slower. Lap 4, 5 tenths slower. And lap 5, 9 tenths slower. I don't really remember any of these. This was done on the 30th of December. Yes. So I have no idea. Yeah, I have really bad memory when it comes to stuff like this, seemingly. That's why I'm glad I'm only doing about 30 seconds, although at the moment it's about 1 minute. Anyway, Imola, 22.2 versus a 22.2, so much better there. 20.6 versus 21.6. Yeah, just lost a second being behind traffic. Then a 20.3, 21.0, 7 tenths, a little bit quicker. Then the final lap, 19.6 versus a 20.0. We were a little bit slower. I've also got sectors to debrief down on as well, but you can see them right here, so I don't really need to tell you much about it. And as you can see, roughly 4 seconds behind him at the beginning of the race, so it's a little bit harder to try and stay with his lap times. Miami next, and this time I started ahead, so that was a little bit easier to try and match his times, because we were ahead and so we didn't really have any traffic. We could technically slow everyone down and make them do my lap times, but what's the point in that? 33.6 compared to a 33.4 on lap 2. Lap 3 was a 32.3 versus a 33.3, so a second gain there. Lap 4 was a 32.8 versus a 33.2, 4 tenths the difference there. And then finally on lap 5, I think I had a big battle, so we lost 5 tenths to Ocon there. Alonso, we were Ocon. So, yeah, not quite sure what happened there. Yeah, he had like 5 tenths on me in the final sector. So, yeah. Spain. We again started ahead. 22-3 versus 22-4 on lap 2. Lap 3 was a almost complete match. 3 milliseconds between each other towards me, 22-1s. Lap 4 was a 22-6 versus 22-3. Fernando pulling that one out of the bag to go 3 tenths quicker than me. And sorry if you heard that. Then lap 4 was... I already did lap 4. Lap 5, I just lost all speed and 5 tenths slower. You can see where, sector 1. I don't know why I'm saying you can see where, because you actually can't, because I'm spending roughly equal time on each debrief photo, screenshot, whatever you want to call it. Monaco. Yeah, I know I weren't doing well here. Thankfully, the AI put me at the back. So it was a 15-6 versus a 15-7. Surprised I was a little bit close to him. But obviously with traffic and early in a race, that's expected. 15-1 versus a 16-0. That's more like it. Me being appalling at Monaco, and I just really hate Monaco. Nothing really more to be said about that. Lap 4, we did match him though with a 15-1. So that was good. However, he decided to do a 14-8 on the final lap, and I could only do a 15-2. So 4 tenths behind him, but overall best 3 tenths behind him with with his personal best of a 14-8 and mine of a 15-1. Then we head over to Azerbaijan. Started ahead of him in this race for once again. So lap 2 45.5 versus a 46.2, 7/10 advantage. Mainly in sector 2, so and a little bit in sector 3. So I think I did have a little bit of DRS. I did cling onto the back of the front 6 in this one, I believe. So that did help me a little bit with lap times. Lap 3 was a 45.4 versus a 46.3. So Fernando getting a little bit slower and me getting a little bit faster, obviously with the help of DRS. Lap 4, 44.8 versus a 45.8. Fernando getting a little bit quicker, but obviously we were getting a little bit quicker as well. So there's the 1 second. And then a 45.9 and a 45.5, deciding to let Fernando get one over me for at least once in this race. Canada, I really enjoyed this circuit, so it was no surprise to see that I was quicker. However, I took a screenshot of Guan Yu Zhou, not me, not Fernando. So I shouldn't really be comparing anything here. But Guan Yu Zhou was right ahead or right behind Fernando, so I'm saying that Guan Yu Zhou was close enough to Fernando that his lap times would be very similar within a tenth, let's say. And also at this point, I don't know what was going on with me, but my eyes started to mess up. I could barely see anything, and I was really struggling to actually race. But what may surprise you is I continued to race for a couple more races. So yeah, that didn't help. Canada though, matched lap 3, 1 second, 0.1 slower on lap 5, to match the 1 second quicker on lap 2, and then lap 4, 2 tenths slower. Britain, my home race, and as I was saying, part of the races. Oh no, now Britain. Britain, as I was saying, part of the races where I can actually see anything, so lap times were a little bit poor. 33.0 versus a 32.7. I was a little bit quicker, yeah. But, oh, I remember this race. I got a penalty for corner cone. I was quicker, but I got a penalty for corner cone, so it dropped me down. 32.4 versus a 33.2, slower. And then a 32.5 versus a 32.3 for me, 2 tenths quicker than Fernando this time. And then the final lap, a 31.9 versus a 32.1, 2 tenths slower. But like I said, I wasn't being self-aware and I didn't stop racing. So my visibility was quite poor actually. Austria next. Now I should really be checking what race I did eventually quit on and restart on in the next morning, and this was France. So 2 more races of not actually being able to see anything. Why did I continue? Because I'm young and dumb. Austria, we matched each other on lap 2. Lap 3, he was 1.9 seconds slower. Lap 4, he was 1 second slower. And on lap 5, he was 9 tenths slower. Both of us getting a warning. I'm not quite sure for what for. I think I may have overtook him in this race because at the end of lap 1, I was only 6 tenths behind him. That's not relevant at all. Then we head over to France, the final one on New Year's Eve. And this one, the AI put me really high. So it kind of helped me. Lap 2, 35.9 versus 36.4. 5 tenths in my favour. And then I matched myself on lap 3. And Fernando decided to match myself on lap 3. So with a 35.9 for both of us. A little bit quicker from my side though. Lap 4, however, I decided to lose pace with a 36.6 versus a 35.8 for Fernando. Then on lap 5, I picked up the pace and pulled out a 35.7. However, Fernando went 6 tenths quicker and pulled out a 35.1. Now we head on to Hungary. The first ones of New Year's Eve. However, the first one on New Year's Eve should have been Singapore, which is why that one heads the beginning of the next episode. Lap 2, 4 tenths slower. Hungary's not really the best circuit of mine, as you should see, hopefully, if I decide to upload it, the best moments of F122. I still need to upload the best moments of F121 and best moments of 2021. Will I ever do them? I don't know. Anywho, lap 3, I was 3 tenths quicker somehow. Lap 4, I was 4 tenths slower. That's expected. And lap 5, I was 4 tenths quicker, so eradicating the gap that we technically had. I'm sure I've missed out some of that, but who cares? You can see for yourself. Belgium next up. Really a good circuit for me as well. So no surprise that on lap 2 I was 2.3 seconds quicker than Fernando. Did help by a slow AI with damage. But we backed it up with a 48.7 on lap 3 versus a 50.3 to Fernando with a 1.6 second gap. Lap 4 was a 49.5 versus a 50.1. Lap 4. So no, 0.6 seconds ahead. Decided to lose pace on the final 2 laps because I weren't getting any more overtakes. And on lap 5 was a 49.7 versus a 50.7, 1 second quicker. And then we head on to Netherlands, one of the final few races for this episode. It's the penultimate. What am I talking about? I like Netherlands, so it's no surprise to see that on lap 2 I was 1.1 seconds quicker than Fernando. Lap 3 we matched each other, this time me being a little bit slower compared to France when we last matched each other. On lap 4, 14.4 for me, bringing myself 4 tenths quicker than Fernando, who pulled out a 14.8. On lap 5 we again matched each other, but this time I was slightly quicker with a 14.60 compared to Fernando's 14.68, which technically should be rounded to 6.9. 6.9. Oh my god, I can't believe I just made that joke. Like AJR's song, I'm not famous, so I don't have any haters. Although that's not quite how that works. Italia. 5 tenths quicker on lap 2. I shouldn't have really done Italia. But I can do what I want because it's my channel, as long as it's legal. Lap 3, Fernando pulled 1 tenth ahead of me. Stop flicking over to Singapore. Lap 4, I pulled ahead again, 5 tenths quicker this time. Although this was eradicated on lap 5 when I received a notification on my phone, and not quite, when I fell 7 tenths behind Fernando, who did a 24.3 compared to my 25.0. And that ends each individual circuit, and so here's a nice graph. Bahrain, you can see that I was quicker on lap 2, lap 3, and on the average. This does remove lap 1 from the average. Saudi Arabia, quicker lap 2, lap 5, and the average. Australia, quicker on none. Imola, quicker on none. Miami, lap 2, lap 3, and average. Spain, lap 2, and I think lap 3 was so close that it doesn't even appear on the graph. Monaco, quicker on none. Azerbaijan, lap 2, 3, 4, and average. Canada, lap 1. I mean, I can probably get away with saying lap 2, but since the average went to Fernando, I doubt it. Great Britain actually went more towards Fernando, with me only getting lap 2 and lap 4 ahead of him. Austria, almost clean sweep. Lap 3, lap 4, lap 5, and the average. France, only lap 2 and 3, I think. I can't even remember what I said about 2 minutes ago. Lap 2 and 3 going in my favour. Ignoring lap 1 because obviously it makes sense to. That's purely based on positions. Although I don't know why I didn't create a graph that removed lap 1. I did for next episode though, so there you go. Hungary. I was about to say lap. Not La Hungary. Hungary. Lap 3 and 5, I was ahead. Belgium. That's a clean sweep. My version of Fernando's Australia, Imola, and Monaco. Lap 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the average, all in my favour. And can I say that that is equal to his Australia, Imola, and Monaco? No, not quite. because his are very close to 1 second, whereas mine are very close to 1 second as well. So overall, he would be still ahead. Netherlands, lap 2, 4, 5, and the average went to me. And then finally Italy, lap 2, lap 4, lap 5 did not go to me. Lap 2, 4, and the average went to me. And yeah, I was going to make a joke about Red Bull and the cost cap and how my inside man, Adrian Stewie, came up with some meals that will help me increase on speed, but I didn't have the time, so yeah, but that's going to be in.